or online. Join me, Stu Ellis, for the Farm Gate.
WHOW. Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest on the phone this morning is Jay Pratte. He's the executive director of the Miller Park Zoo in Bloomington. Good morning, Jay. How are you, sir?
Good morning. I'm doing good. Better now that I have this coffee in hand.
Indeed. I hope it's nice and warm for you as well. By the way, is it raining over there? I'm looking out the window. It feels awfully gloomy.
Started. I'm like, what do I hear over my shoulder as I'm waiting? And yep, it's pouring down right now.
Yeah, that was. I thought I heard some thunder with my last guest, and I was like, no way. Like, it was supposed to be sunny today, and then I look on the radar, and it's like, oh, there's some thunderstorms rolling through. So, anyways, but Jay, speaking of thunderstorms rolling through, I don't mean to equate it to that too much, but it's the AZA process is upon you and the Miller Park Zoo, and in a way, it is kind of a thunderstorm. They come in and they give a fine-tooth comb look at your zoo. That was the topic of conversation, anticipating those individuals being at your zoo last time. How did that go?
Your thunderstorm analogy was very, very good. We were all prepared. We're like, you know what, we've got this. And they came in and they were professional. Of course, they're all, experienced, seasoned AZA inspectors. We did have one shadow who was actually learning the process from the others. And they do. Fine-tooth comb is correct. Like, they look at everything. And, they can comb all of our documents, all of our protocols. They go into every nook and cranny of the zoo. And I think that they maybe didn't anticipate, even for such a small zoo, how much time it was going to take them, because there was a little bit of, a rush on the team's part, towards the end, as they realized, oh, we still have all this paperwork and a report to put out. But they had very, very good positive feedback for us, for the changes we have made, the progress we've made, both physically and in our staffing, our leadership, and just the overall cultural shift and change here. And then, obviously they bring up some random, different points of concern, thing they've seen, like this could be repairing, the goals in this particular strategic plan could be, should be more measurable. There's things like that then we're going to get in a final report. And then we'll present that. We have a letter that we have to send in actually this Monday. We're in the process of drafting it now, that responds to, the actual inspection itself. And then between that letter and then anything else we can accomplish, we present ourselves to the AZA Accreditation Commission, and this year that is going to occur at the National Conference in Columbus in September.
Mm-hmm. Sure. So, how about what this group of individuals saw at the zoo, Jay? What did they tell you? What kind of feedback did they have for you? How did you feel about the couple of days they spent at your zoo?
So it was definitely, I'd say whirlwind, but we're back to thunderstorm, because it was a lot crammed into 2 days. There was feedback, a lot of positive stuff. Again, I sort of, alluded to it, the cultural shift, like really working. We worked hard to adjust how our team is led. We've had some different changes in management and leadership here, and they were really complimentary on the positive feedback, because they don't just talk to the leadership, they talk to everybody. They had meetings with staff, with keepers, with frontline guest services, and we got a lot of good positive feedback about that. They love the new South American, habitats. They were really, really impressed with that. And then little things like, the extra work we put into the public walkways, how clean and, organized, like our kitchen as a central, organization hub for our staff is. So it was some good feedback like that. And then they always bring up concerns, things that they see that they figure that we can improve on. And some of it is we had some fencing that wasn't quite finished internally. We'd had a supply chain with the little pickets that we'd used. We've finished that now. We went and bought all those. We finished that one. They did point out we do have some remaining older habitats. Like when you come in and you see, where the red pandas and the red ruffed lemurs are, those are the last of those older school wood and wire ones. Those we will have dealt with, in our master plan, which we're going to start investing in now that once this process is over. And then there's always things like, there's paperwork. They go through our protocols and they suggest improvements to make sure that goals are measurable, that they meet, what the standards for what protocols, paperwork, and documentation should look like in an accredited zoo. And for us, the big one was they paid a lot of attention to the Katofer building. That building's 125 years old at this point. We have improvements that have been made to it. We have more that are going to be made. We are going to be having some grant monies come in the next year, and that's actually where we're going to dedicate a lot of our work, is to a lot of behind the scenes stuff where it's improving safety for the keepers, for the animals, but we really want to revitalize and get that building, opened and a little bit more modern. And, they had some commentary about that as well. And that's completely understandable for the age of that facility.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, I think it's, I think these are a lot of things you probably already know about. It's just a matter of we need the time, we need the money, we need we just need the empathy, I guess, to allow us the opportunity to take care of what we know we have to do, if that makes any sense.
Well, I'll just let you write the letter of response for me, because that's actually basically what I'm saying in there. What I really want people to know, though, is through this process, the Miller Park Zoo here, we are a department within the city of Bloomington, and I cannot speak highly enough of how supportive they have been, not only since I got here and I started actually making a lot of these changes and adjustments, some of which were pretty major, and they've been behind us 100%. They've been helping us through the budgeting process. They've been helping us with other departments coming in and assisting with tasks and projects. So they've been pretty phenomenal. And then the Miller Park Zoological Society, they are our support organization, but with the new leadership, with the new directions, the goals, they spend a lot of time working with them. They are fully and utterly committed to also helping us achieve new goals, figure out other ways that we can improve, and see where they can help developing new committees and everything. So it's really coming together well here. And I think that when we go to Columbus in September, that they're going to see that, and they're going to realize that, we're not on our own here, and these things that where we need to make improvements, we've got the full support of the city and the society, and honestly, the community. And that's one of the things that makes me really proud to be going through this.
Are zoos typically kind of under the umbrella of a city government or some sort of government agency, Jay?
Not really, actually. I couldn't give you the actual proportions. A lot of them are private. They are either privately owned and funded, or they are actually run by the societies, by a foundation. They're privately, managed nonprofits. There are a lot that are city run. There are a few I know of that are state facilities. And of course, there's the one big one. You've got the Smithsonian Zoo, which is the federal government. So.
Yeah, I think of St. Louis. I think theirs is a city one, and we went to Milwaukee in the spring. I believe theirs was county, if I'm not mistaken. I wondered.
Right.
Yeah, I just wondered about that, because that's what I was thinking of. I was thinking of those two, and I was like, and I think of Decatur. Obviously, they're under the Parks Department. So I was just kind of curious what the breakdown of those were. So I'm glad you weighed in on that. But again, our guest on the phone today, Jay Pratte, is the executive director of the Miller Park Zoo in Bloomington. Jay, as we talk here for this morning, so you anticipate going to Columbus here in early September, I thought you said. So once that has all kind of concluded, what happens next after that process?
Well, we go and they will let us know what the results of the whole accreditation inspection are. And then that puts us into another 5-year cycle. So what it does is it gives us time to sit back and either address any further concerns that they might have, move forward on our plans. And one of the things that we need to do here, and again, the city is and the society are aware of this, is anybody can find this online. The previous master plan for the Miller Park Zoo is 13 or 14 years old now. And so we have to update that, because not only do we have new leadership within the city and within the Park and Rec Department, we have new leadership here at the zoo, some new goals, how we care for animals and the species that probably require some of the most protection right now, through EZA programs, has adjusted and changed. So we're going to invest in that, but that's a huge process. That's going to cost a ton of money. We do have to get some professional groups that have experience with that to come in and help us. And so that's what we're really going to focus on, is continuing to improve what we have, but then looking to the future to be all right, what should this be looking like over the next 2 years, 5 years, and 10 years? And so that's the process that we're going to jump into once we make it through accreditation.
It's I had forgotten about that. The master plan was that old. I just can't believe that. But that's and that on its own is like you said, that's an undertaking. And so it just and you're sitting there talking about that, Jay, as I realize it's 13, 10, 13 years old or whatever it is. And then realizing how much of a process that is, I'm sitting there thinking, man, this guy just can't catch a break. It's literally one thing after another for you right now.
I walked in, we get USDA inspections, we're preparing for AZA inspections, getting to know my team, build it all here, hire a new education man. It has also been a bit of a whirlwind and a thunderstorm here. But you know what? It's kind of what I do and what I love to do. Maybe less so writing a lot of letters and filling out a whole lot of documents, but that's that foundation that once it's set, we can do more of what we love. And that's that day-to-day management, getting to be out in the community more, really being able to make some more dynamic changes, and then respond to our staff and get them involved in ways that maybe they haven't before, and really encourage a lot of professional development and ownership here. So I'm really looking forward to that, and us having a bit of a breather to look at not only the big goals like, accreditation and master planning, but what are some of the small ones that are personal and meaningful to us.
Mm-hmm. And that's the fun part of that process, is dreaming a little bit. That's always the fun part of those things. Before we go to break here, Jay, I want to ask you this. After those folks from the AZA left, and you had yourself a nice stiff adult beverage, what did you do first? Like, what's the first thing you did after that was in relation to those inspectors being there? What was the first thing you did when they left?
We got our team together and we sat down and we got their impressions, we got their feedback, we talked about it, and we made sure that everybody was aware that, kind of regardless of where their perspective fell on that, and we appreciated all feedback and input, which will be also provided to AZA. We really wanted to get their input and let them know that, while there were going to be some things that were points out and challenges, that we've got it. There may have been some curveballs we didn't see coming and we don't see coming, but no matter what, we can be creative, we can work together, and we have the full support of the city. It was really great because in the middle of the inspection, we had the city manager, Tim Gleason, and the deputy city manager, Billy Tyus, show up to meet the team and really reinforce how much support we have, and relaying that to our staff and our team. And then really it bolstered morale, and it really reinvigorated them to say, hey, we're doing the right thing and we're on the right track. So it was making sure that everyone was, good, doing that kind of, temperature check, litmus test, and saying, all right, let's see what our next step is. Sure. Then it was going home and finding a good bourbon.
Very good. Very good. Jay, where do folks go to keep up with all things Miller Park Zoo?
You can go to our website on the City of Bloomington's page. You can go to Facebook or Instagram for Miller Park Zoo, and the Miller Park Zoological Society has both a website and a Facebook page as well.
Fantastic. Jay Pratte is the executive director of the Miller Park Zoo in Bloomington, our guest on the phone here for this morning. More to come with Jay here on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.
At Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton or Farmer City, our job is to help you solve your transportation needs. This is Scott Baum, both in Clinton or Farmer City. We'll listen and find options if you need a different used car or truck, or we'll give you repair options to keep your car, truck, or SUV safe and trouble-free so you can continue with your busy schedule. If it has to do with transportation, we're here to help. Visit our full-service team today at Clinton or Farmer City. BaumChevyBuick.com. Right from the start.
It's no secret that employers are having a difficult time hiring qualified personnel, whether full or part-time. The Miller Media Group wants to help you, the employer, to find the candidates you're looking for. That's why we've created IllinoisJobPost.com. That's IllinoisJobPost.com. This website is part of a broad radio and internet employment campaign available through the Miller Media Group. Contact your account manager or email sales@randyradio.com for more information. IllinoisJobPost.com is where we put the power of radio and the internet to attract prospective candidates.
Farmers care for their land with the next generation in mind. To help growers with their conservation efforts, ADM now offers Regenerations. Regenerations provides cash payments and technical assistance for practices like cover crops and reduced tillage. Participation in Regenerations is easy, it's rewarding, and it's available now. To learn how Regenerations can help sustain your farm's legacy, contact your local ADM representative for details at 217-451-8399. That's 217-451-8399.
Your own home without the maintenance. If you're 55 or better, a beautiful Liberty Village villa could be yours. This is Erin, and I invite you to come take a tour of our move-in ready villa. Click the Liberty Village icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Simply the finest.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Jay Pratte, Executive Director of the Miller Park Zoo in Bloomington, is my guest on the phone for this morning. And Jay, let's talk ZooDoo. What is ZooDoo? What's going on?
So this is actually going to be exciting. ZooDoo is Miller Park Zoo's annual, it's our biggest fundraiser that's hosted by the Miller Park Zoological Society. I actually missed last year's by 1 week. I started here at the zoo 1 week after last year's ZooDoo event. So I'm really excited that this one is here. The theme is Magic in the Wild. One of the board members actually found and has procured the services of a corporate magician who is apparently nothing short of absolutely amazing and fantastic, who's going to be coming. And it's going to be like a great night with the live magic performance. There'll be both our silent and our live auctions, cash bars, music. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's Saturday, September 23rd, and it runs from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Do you have to get tickets ahead of time for that?
Yes. You can either call the society, or the best way is to actually go to the Miller Park Zoological Society's webpage or Facebook page. It will give you all the information there. There's QR codes, all of the, the ticket prices, what you can book into, and then what that's going to get you are all there.
Do you do any highlighting of like conservation, some of the animals in your collection, a combination of the two? How about that?
So it's broken down into different pieces and parts. This one, actually, we're really working towards the carousel. So anybody who's been here, everybody loves this carousel. It's a kind of historic piece that the children and families love. And this year's ZooDoo is actually going towards, preservation of and restoration of our carousel over the next year. It's going to be over in the pavilion, but as they're here on grounds and as they get ready to move through the event, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for us and our animal care team. I'll be here to engage them and talk about, our different projects as they're walking through the zoo. Have keeper talks and presentations, exactly what you're talking about. Conservation, what our efforts are, what we're doing, here in the community, and, what they can actually do. So they've also got the little take-home messages to go with them. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So this is a fundraiser then?
It is. It is our biggest fundraiser through the society. And it's the big one.
Yep. Very good. So put it on the radar, the when and where for that, Jay.
Again, it's Saturday, September 23rd, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Tickets are available through the Miller Park Zoological website or Facebook page, and it's going to be held both at the zoo and then end up over at the pavilion right next door.
Oh, no, very nice. Very good. So put that on the radar. That's coming up right around the corner. End of September, it'll be here before we know it. I can't believe it. But at any rate.
And my 1 year anniversary.
Yes.
You can believe that.
I know it. I know that's flown by as well for sure. But Jay, let's dive into the collection a little bit. What's new at the zoo?
So, everybody's favorite. So I don't know, there's been a couple of, the best of Bloomington normal sort of votes and stuff that have been going around. And for anybody that missed it, our otters are still apparently everybody's favorite, but closely followed by the snow leopards and our new giant anteater, Chili. So we've had a lot of really positive feedback and great input from guests, visiting guests, members, current members, about how much opening up the South American habitats has just changed the zoo, the work on the sidewalks and the fencing. They've been really, really happy with that. And I'm glad to see that.
Sure.
And that leads into some of the cool changes we've got is we've been working since we got those species in on getting companion animals for them so we can participate in AZA reproductive programs. Mm-hmm. And our general curator, Pearl, has been working really hard with AZA, and we are scheduled to bring in a male anteater, a male kudu, our little deer species, and a male DeBraz's monkey. Because you remember we lost Chumu a couple months ago, and we actually have an identified male who will be coming to us from Houston. So it's all based on temperatures and when we can fly in here safely. And a new species, completely new species, a Chinese crocodile lizard, which we've never had here before.
Whoa, that's crazy. Do you keep those programs in place through the leadership change, or are you do you have the liberty to make changes to those?
So we've kept up with the programs that are existing. The new ones will be obviously the poodoo and the anteater, but the other ones that were here, snow leopard, cotton top tamarin. You remember we had the young there. We're going to keep up with those other programs. And then part of that master plan we were talking about is also collection planning and those species that, again, either our staff feel really dedicated to or work with, or that we are identifying through AZA that have changed. And that's where we'll look at making adjustments in the future.
Gotcha. Very good. Well, Jay, I look at the clock, about a minute with you here this morning. What did I miss today you want to put out there for us?
We're just looking forward to having everybody, come out to visit. I think the big one is going to be ZooDoo, but as always, check out, we've got a number of events. We've got fall classes and camps available to everybody. We've always got something going on here. We're small but mighty, Seth. So I really encourage people to take a look at the website, the Facebook page, and see, what there is and what they'd like to do, and come meet us.
For sure. Well, Jay, we appreciate you making time with us as always. We'll let you get back to it. And we appreciate your time as always.
All right, Seth. It's always good talking to you.
That is Jay Pratte, Executive Director of the Miller Park Zoo in Bloomington. Our guest on the phone today. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. We also stream live online all the time at DeWittDailyNews.com.